Hi, thanks for joining another Ready to Ride session and welcome to the first of the jumping specific training sessions. That said, just because it's jumping specific does not mean it is restricted to only people who are jumping. Anyone can do these exercises. It will be beneficial for all riders, I'm sure, but it's just that these exercises are going to be a little bit more specific to the actual art of jumping. Before you do this, please make sure that you have done at least one warm-up session, and in your history make sure that you have been progressing up through the levels of the exercise programs, because the exercises in these jumping sessions are going to be a little bit harder than what you've been doing before. So what we're going to be focusing on is working on your balance and stability through the whole motion of jumping, with the aim being that you can stay in balance with your horse better through the whole of the movement. We're not just going to be looking at the forwards and backwards movement, we're going to be looking at sideways, drop, fence action, all that sort of thing. So the first exercise, you need to be on your knees, and we're going to do basically a kneeling roll-up kind of exercise, and this is actually particularly specific for drop fences, so cross-country riders out there, but also if you are landing from a higher fence, but if you've got a little bit left behind over the fence, just ways of improving your stability through that part of the movement. So you want to start off with your arms up in front of you, and the start of the movement is moving with your headlights. I want you to go down into a kneeling position and coming back up again. So you're controlling the movement through your headlights, starting by pushing your headlights back and then starting by bringing them forwards. Keep the pelvic floor onto floor 3 at the same time. And now you're going to add in your arms. So as you go down this time, you take one arm out and back in, and then you take the other arm out and back in. So you're controlling the movement through your headlights and adding in a little bit of a turn in your upper body with your arm. I want you to try and keep your headlights pointing straight ahead, so you're concentrating on stability and forward movement through your pelvis, so that way if you're on your horse, your legs and your pelvis are going to stay pointing straight ahead, hopefully staying with the horse, even if your upper body is doing something perhaps you didn't quite intend. This is also a really good hip flexor exercise, good exercise for your psoas muscle. That's a good basic straightening exercise. You'll probably tire quite quickly doing that one, so try not to do too many reps when you first get started. We're going to do the next two exercises in standing, and the first of those is a basic squats action, but I want you to be up onto your toes when you're doing this, because this is just a little bit more of a challenge to your balance. And the start off movement is basically practice seeing if you can go up and down into a basic squat on your toes, keeping your knees lined up with your second and third toes, headlights forwards, pelvic floor onto floor 3. Now we're going to add in a forward movement with that. So bring your arms up as if you were on your horse, holding your reins-ish, and as you go forwards, move your hands forwards. Okay, so knees over toes, headlights forwards, pelvic floor onto floor 3. To add in a little bit of a challenge so you can practice trying to keep your hands level, get a bit of visual feedback, use one of your resistance bands. You can also do this with balls as well, anything that just gives you that bit of extra feedback. So I suggest before you start that you get your hands about elbow width apart, a little bit of tension onto your band, and then as you go forwards you can just keep an eye on what is happening with your band, making sure that it stays nice and level and that your tension on the band stays the same as well. So now I've got level hands, level headlights, knees over toes, pelvic floor on floor 3. And if you want to see this from the side, I'll just turn sideways on for you. So what you're aiming to do is on those toes and forwards. Easy said than done to keep your balance. A really good practice. Okay, so before your legs get really tired, I'm going to finish off with showing you some star lunges. These are really challenging. They look so easy, but they catch so many people out, particularly in the backwards part of the star lunge. I'm going to demonstrate it first of all, and then I'll get you to join in. So start with your headlights, hands on your headlights, headlights pointing forwards, pelvic floor onto floor 3. Okay, so far so simple. The challenge is keeping all your core components active the whole way through the exercise. So before you start, you need to have your shoulders back and down, activate the ropes between ribs and pelvis, hands on headlights, headlights forwards, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and the whole way through the movement, 2 things to keep in mind. Headlights stay pointing straight ahead throughout, and the leg that you land on, you bend the knee, and you'll be amazed at how hard it is, particularly when you're going backwards, to land on a bended knee. So we'll go through this together. So you're going forwards onto a bended knee, diagonally forwards, bended knee, sideways, bended knee, diagonally behind you, bended knee, and straight behind, bended knee. Then swap and go with the other leg. Forwards, diagonal, side, diagonal, straight back. Okay, so hopefully what you're achieving with this is your body is coping with whatever movement that you go. So your legs are taking your weight, your body is staying in balance, and your headlights are staying straight ahead. Doesn't matter where you end up, your body stays pointing straight ahead, your legs are taking the weight. So it doesn't matter what happens over a fence, your headlights stay straight ahead, your body is prepared for that and used to it. Let's have another go. So forwards, diagonal, side, diagonal, back, and then the other leg again. Forwards, diagonal, side, diagonal, back. Okay, I really recommend with that one that you practice that and get it really quick, really off pat, so that your body is really used to going wherever you tell it to go, landing on a bended knee and keeping your headlights forwards whatever you do. It's such a good reaction to have inbuilt into your system, so that when you're over a fence, mid-air, whatever happens, whatever the horse does, if it catches a leg, your body is used to adjusting to that and keeping in that nice neutral balanced position. So that's it for that session. There'll be more jumping specific sessions coming up. Whatever you do, make sure, if you haven't already, that you subscribe to this channel and you'll get all the latest videos coming straight through to you. And for any more background information, as always, check out the Ready to Ride blog, where there are lots of theoretical based articles for you to have a read of. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you at the next session.